Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a collaboration with Hatsy and we're both doing Game of Thrones builds. Now my one is Red Keep from King's Landing and Hatsy is doing a different one. If you want to see what it is, what castle she's doing, then head on over to our channel. I won't tell you, I won't reveal any secrets as to what it might be, so you'll have to go over there and check it out. But you know it's going to be amazing because it's Hatsy. I mean, come on, she's a phenomenal builder. And I'm really excited that we're doing this together. But obviously, this is an inspired build. It's not going to be exact. It was as close as I could possibly think of making it. But I've actually put in some pictures below of the references that I used for this build, because maybe I took them from the wrong place, but those were the references that I took to make this build. But let me know how well I did, or how well I failed at making it look, you know, like the artist's impressions and from the show and stuff like that. And also, those of you who don't watch Game of Thrones, you can now see what this castle's actually supposed to look like. That works out, doesn't it? But anyway, the way that I actually came up with doing this collab was I was in France and I saw a whole load of castles, but I'll get into that later. But I had this idea in my mind that I would do Game of Thrones castles, and I was watching a podcast by the Sims News, which is Kayla and Torben, which are Lil Simsy and Simlinks, and they were doing a interview with, or I guess feature with Hatsy, and she had actually mentioned in there how much she loved Game of Thrones, and so I thought this is perfect because I really wanted to do a collaboration with Hatsy anyway, because I think she's a really amazing person and builder. And so I actually approached her because I've only read the books, so I haven't watched the TV show, so I don't know I was going to ask her to do the interiors because I didn't know what it was going to look like on the inside, and I was afraid that I would get it wrong. But she actually had the great idea that we do a castle each, and they'd be like rivals, and they'd be from the different houses and stuff like that, which I thought was such a cool idea. So we went ahead with it, but that does mean that I'm still unsure on what is going to be on the inside or what needs to be on the inside. So if you guys could help me out in the comments, I'd really appreciate it. Let me know what's the most important stuff, you know, what's the most important rooms. Obviously there's going to be a throne room. I've already planned out how I'm going to make the Iron Throne, but the other stuff, like what's the most important stuff that's going to be needed in, you know, inside the castle, let me know so I want to do it justice. I really want to do it as well as I can. But yeah, I'm really excited to do that. I'd actually been waiting until after the Glamour stuff pack. Can't remember its actual name. Is it? I don't know. That pack. I've been waiting for that because I thought there's so much stuff in there that is really, you know, luxurious and would be perfect to build a castle, as well with the vanity and stuff like that. So yeah, we've kind of been waiting for that to come out, and yeah, so this is the castle so far. It's, you know, I've got little bits coming on. It's a really strange shape. If you've seen any of the pictures, it's a very strange shaped castle. And I'd actually went to France, and there were a whole load of castles where we went, and it was like a valley, and they weren't mountains. I guess you would say that they were hills, maybe, but very big hills, let's just say that. But there were castles just scattered all over the like side of these hills everywhere, and it instantly made me think of Game of Thrones. And there was this one village that we went to, and the village sort of climbed up. It was incredibly steep, like crazy steep, and it sort of climbed up the side of this hill, and at the top it had this castle. And it was very similar to this one in the fact that it was actually sort of triangular shaped. And I found out that the reason why they're triangular shaped is because it's actually for defense reasons. So if you've got a castle which is square, then if you think that someone's going to attack you from one side, and you've got all your troops on one side, and then suddenly everyone comes to attack you from the other side, then it's kind of screwed, because then you've got to run from one side of the castle to the other. But if it's triangular, then you can see a really wide surface area of like the land in front of you. If it's triangular, I guess a tower would be better because then you can see all the way around, but it's as close as, you know, to fit in all the troops that you'd need. So there you go. I don't normally have facts for you guys, but there you go, there's a fact. But I was also really struggling with the perspective of this because it was triangular. It wasn't actually on a 45-degree angle. It was a different angle. I'm not sure what it would have been, but trying to fit it so that it would work in The Sims was a little bit of a challenge. So you might have seen a minute ago the second tower, I was really struggling with where I was going to put that. I thought that maybe it would be, you know, in a straight line from the bigger tower, but in the end I think I did it on a diagonal. Yeah, I think I did it on a diagonal. And I'm doing all these little roofing things to surround the towers, because they have the towers and then they sink in and then continue, if that makes any sense at all. So that's what I'm doing. But you'll see here, you can tell how long ago it took me. I was building this because of me making all the different rooms and all the different roofs and placing all of them individually. And I remember I was building this, and at the time there wasn't even an announcement that we were going to get the copy tool. And I remember just thinking, all I want in my life is a copy tool, please. I just want that copy tool. I need one. And I remember, I was tearing my hair out. I just thought this would be so much quicker if I could just copy paste. But I should be happy now because we do have one, and I've been using it like practically non-stop. It's my favourite tool on The Sims now, that I can copy and paste things, because I don't know, maybe I do very repetitive builds, but I'm not sure. I just find it easier and also it makes sure that the angles are alright and all of that kind of stuff. So that was pretty good. There's also, this castle is gigantic. I remember I was brushing up on my knowledge a little because I didn't want to come here, you know, completely clueless, but it has thousands and thousands of rooms and so many floors, a ridiculous amount of floors, and trying to replicate that in The Sims was really quite difficult, with all the different layers and all the towers that sort of were at different heights and all the bits which were sticking out and sticking back in, and it was all red and one colour, so trying to make sure that that was all you could actually see it, and it was quite a challenge. And I actually really enjoy doing builds like this, which are a challenge, because it means that I grow as a builder and I get better, and that's really, really fun. And you know, when I first started YouTube, at least I was terrible in comparison to this, but even before that I was even worse before I even started my YouTube channel. But it's pushing your boundaries and doing things that you think, no, that's impossible, I couldn't do that, and then actually trying to do it and putting in the effort to do it, and that's what makes you be able to push yourself and do better. And this was definitely one of those things. I think that I really learned a lot while building this one. There's been a few builds like that where I feel like I've really learned about how I do my building stuff. But yeah, we're kind of getting a shape now. Can you see what I mean by the triangular? But it's kind of not triangular at the same time. It's really weird. And then we have this bit which comes out, which I can only assume is a throne room because it's so grand. There's all this like stuff coming out of it, and it's all spiky, and it just looks like that would be a place where there would be a throne room. So I'm going to put it in there, but obviously correct me if it actually goes somewhere else. But I think it would be, I think it's the only place it could go. Yeah, see, I'm building it now. But yeah, I feel the thing is that this, which I'm completely fine with, because it actually meant that I've actually been able to go back and edit this and make it a little bit better. But it has been quite a while since I actually, because I was really slow with it anyway, but it's been a long time since I started doing this build and for you guys being able to see it and it being released. In that time, I could have sat down and probably watched several seasons of Game of Thrones, but it's just been one of those things where when I sit down and watch TV, I tend to do it with my family, and I don't think that they would enjoy, I don't know whether they would, like, they enjoy similar books to me, so maybe they would enjoy it, but I don't know, I just think it would be a bit weird with the whole, stuff that goes on sitting there and watching it with your parents. I don't know, maybe you guys have done that and it's been fine, but let me know if you've been able to watch this with your parents and it being okay. It's just a little bit awkward, isn't it? But we've been watching some other TV shows, and I think maybe one day I do want to watch Game of Thrones. I mean, I've had so many, my boyfriend watches it and he's given me so many spoilers, and he's read all the books and watch all the series of the TV show, so he's given me tons of spoilers anyway, so I pretty much know stuff which happens, so I don't know whether it would be spoiled for me, but I'm sure I'd still probably enjoy it. But I read the book quite a while ago, and I don't actually read that much anymore, which is kind of sad because I used to really enjoy it. It used to be actually my immune system isn't that great, so I used to just sit and read and read and read like for several days straight, and that's how I guess I would transport myself to a different world almost. That's what books are good for, and I just transport myself somewhere else and it would distract me from being ill, and so that's what I used to do quite a lot. And it wasn't like bad illnesses, it was just, flus and colds. It wasn't, a big deal, but I just have the worst immune system when it comes to that kind of stuff. Oh, sidetracking back to all the builds. I actually thought this was really cool, the way that the two roofs came together or the three roofs came together to make that little diamond. All I could think about when I was making it was like, I wish there was like a diamond shaped window there, like a stained glass one. How cool that would look just in that little bit there. But we do have stained glass windows, but it would, cut out the side of the roof and it'd be like square or round on the corners, and I don't think it would look as good. So, but I would have loved to have a stained glass window just there. But yeah, I don't really read books anymore, apart from when I'm on holiday. And actually on that holiday when I went to France, I was reading quite a lot of books. And there was a series that I'd kind of got into. And I don't know why. I used to be really emotionally attached to my characters when I was reading books and stuff, and books would easily make me cry, and films easily make me cry. It's like I'm so sappy when it comes to stuff, and I get so invested, and I don't know why. It's just got to the point where it's even worse. I feel like maybe it's that I don't want to start a book, because when I finish reading the book, that means the characters die. Do you know what I mean? Because they don't exist anymore, and unless I read it again, but I don't want to read it again, and it's one of those things that I just don't read, because then I don't get heartbroken. It's really bad. But I remember I was reading this book, and it was one of these sort of action ones, and they'd been like, I tend to read books which are like fantasy or sci-fi, and with like superpowers and stuff, but they had been like genetically manipulated, and all this terrible stuff was happening to this girl. And I had to stop reading it because I just got anxiety, and I was sitting there reading this book and like hyperventilating, and I couldn't breathe properly, and I was shaking from the start. And I mean, it's very well written in that case that I was like that, but I felt like such a pansy, and I had to stop reading so that I could read something a little bit happier because I just couldn't take it. I felt so weird about that, and I get it sometimes with TV shows. I watched if you've ever seen Luther, and if you're into crime shows, you'll really like it. It's like a British one made by the BBC, but what makes it so intense is that they don't have guns, because police in the UK don't have guns. So, or at least most of them. You get some which are like around, Houses of Parliament and stuff which have guns, but the vast majority of police, they do not hold guns. Quickly interrupting my story. With this bit here, I was getting really confused with the perspective again, and because of all the levels, this one would have actually kind of been halfway in between the two levels, but I was unsure on whether it would work sort of below or above. And so you may be thinking, what are you doing, Zoe? This is stupid, what are you doing? But I actually dig down into the basement, which I already had a plan of doing, because the top of the castle is kind of up on a hill, and then it sort of drifts down and then meets the city. So that's kind of what this is, and although I have to, you know, do stairs back up because it's The Sims and, you know, they can't just walk into the basement level. But what it was I ended up actually bringing that down so it was on the floor below, and we actually have this as sort of a seating area. But yeah, anyway, back to the story. So it was really intense because they didn't have guns, and all the ones which I normally watch are American ones, and it's like if someone's got a bomb, it's okay because all you do is you just shoot them and they're dead and everything's fine again, you know. But with this, it was like so intense, like all the stuff that would happen, and there's not many episodes, but what would have to happen is I would have to watch some of it and then I would wait so that I could actually calm down. I couldn't binge watch it even though I wanted to and I had the time to. I couldn't binge watch it because I just get so scared and worked up about this TV show. I don't know whether I should be mentioning this on the internet, how like scared I get, but it's like real life stuff, I'm fine, and it's like real life things where I should actually be crying and, you know, there should be something, you know, it is something that's terrible happening, and I'm like, oh well, it's just like water off my back, you know, and I'm fine. But like actually TV shows and stuff like that, I just get, it's over the top. I just get over the top with how emotional and scared and stuff I get. It's stupid, and it's got worse as I've got older, and you would have thought that maybe as I got older I might have, you know, realised they're not real, it's fine. Sorry, calm down, you know, but apparently not. Apparently I'm terrible with that kind of thing. But we're digging into the ground here to do that basement level, and I try and do this like a round bit at the top there, but I don't really think it worked that well, so I actually just make it like diagonals on the side and stuff. So yeah, I just do that in the end. And I'll try and explain what I'm actually kind of doing. So that bit at the front there, that's like the entrance which I was talking about, which is actually higher, but it would have been lower. And I'm moving it around a bit so that I can actually do some stuff around the back, but we end up making it like a pool which goes all the way around. And for most of this I don't actually put the pool in because the pool makes this lot lag because it's so big, at least, you know, partially. My computer, I've kind of fixed my game and it doesn't really lag that much anymore, but it was lagging a little, and so I was worried that throughout all of this, like I could have done so much more for the landscaping and for the pool, like which would be the sea area and all of that kind of stuff. But I am scared that you guys aren't gonna, like, I've done it before where I've made really intricate lots and you guys just haven't been able to play on them because there are just too many items and it is lagged out. So I'm actually really scared of that, so I don't want to do that this time. I've just realised I've talked all this time and I haven't talked about Hatsy. I've like brushed over it and I haven't talked about her that much. So I'm sorry, Hatsy. I'm sorry that it took me this long. People might not be watching anymore, but Hatsy is a really amazing simmer. She does like phenomenal let's plays and phenomenal builds. I really think that she's revolutionised the way that people build. I honestly do. I feel like people have changed the way that they build, and the quality is so much higher with everyone now. I feel like there's so many people which just do amazing stuff, and I feel like Hatsy was like the front runner in that. I feel like she's done amazing stuff for this community, and also she's a really lovely person. And she actually just released the pilot episode for a Callywell Estate let's play. I've been so excited for that. I was like pretty much obsessed with her witches let's play. So good. And I don't know, she must have so much patience because I do a little bit of machinimas in my let's plays sometimes, and she does so many and does them so well, and she writes all her stories like in advance, and it's phenomenal. I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to do all the stuff that she does. It's really amazing. But yeah, I also met her at Simmers Meetup, and she only was there for a day, but on the actual day of the Simmers Meetup, but I did actually spend quite a lot of the day with her, which was really lovely. And something I sort of realised while I was there, you see people on the internet and they are really, really lovely and sort of enthusiastic and really great and that kind of thing, and really enjoy their content. And so you do get worried that if in person they are going to be the same, but actually Hatsy and so many people, like, I thought they were amazing as they were anyway, but they were even better in person. Like, everyone was so genuine and so kind and so lovely. Like, I can't express enough how wonderful everyone was that was there, which I met that day. It was really lovely, and I loved spending time with all of the people that I met there, and I can't wait for next Sinners meetup. And yeah, it'd be great to meet Hatsy again. I really think so. I'd also, because I've done this, I actually did this voiceover twice, so I've also missed out something else which was quite important, is that Hatsy and I were actually going to do a joint voiceover for this. She was going to do, we were going to, you know, talk on both of them and do Q&As and stuff like that, but she's actually had internet problems recently, so we couldn't do that. But she's got a petition. I don't know whether it's actually still running or not, but if it is, I'll leave it in the comments, in the comments or in the description below, and it would mean a lot to her and to me if you were able, because I love her content as well, whether you could go and sign that so that she could get, she was promised better internet and she didn't get because she was moved into a newly built place with lots of houses and stuff, and she was promised good internet and it wasn't given to her, and I think that's quite unfair. So and it has affected, you know, the way that she's been able to upload stuff. So if you do go over there, I'm sure she'd really appreciate it, for this, to sign it and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll go back to the build now. We've gone round and I sort of painted everything in the brick. I chose brick because I actually read up that it was redstone, but we don't really have anything like that in The Sims, and from a lot of the pictures which I saw, it looks like brick to me. So I've done it like that, and to make the, like, some of it have detail, there's some brick which has the post on the outside of each block, I guess, and that sort of framing it. So I've done that on some bits, and I do the posts which I've got on the front tower, the one which is separate from everything else, they're a little dark. I changed them to be a better colour, but I do add things off camera because I did change and improve this later on. But when I was doing the windows, I felt really not great about it, because I felt like I was spoiling it. I felt like I was ruining it with these windows, and I'd forgotten, because I'd actually built some of this before and then I'd actually started over. But you see where I've put that mini arched window, it's not really, it's above the bigger arched window, the one above that. I put that in there, but actually on the picture, if you look, there's like this thing where it's got, like, I guess, dots in line, and then underneath them there's archways. So I tried to recreate that. I did that off camera after I'd already done the voiceover for this, and I went back and I wanted to edit it and make it better, because I felt like there was stuff which I could do to make it better. So I did, and I had the opportunity to do it, so I thought, why not? But yeah, I put that in there so it looks a little bit better. There's other stuff which I change, like the front entrance I completely changed because I wasn't happy with it. I think I changed it like 2 or 3 times in this. Not the entrance here which I'm painting right now, it's the one actually going into the castle itself, and I change it, and I think it's a lot better the way that I change it. I use City Living stuff, the door that we got in there, the glass one, which I think that's what I used anyway. You'll be able to see, I think I did a panoramic shot at the beginning, so you'll be able to see from that anyway what I actually did. But yeah, so you'd seen earlier that I put in a little bit of water just to see what it looked like and see what it was going to, you know, be. And I ended up putting these little roofs in here because I thought that I just thought it looked better having that sort of connection across. And I think they did have them in some of the pictures which I looked at, although I wasn't sure. But you'll see where I think this throne room's going to be. There's the glass windows and they're really modern. But the problem is that we don't have singular full height windows which look old. And from all the pictures, and I may be wrong, but from all the pictures that I saw, and it, you know, it may be that it wasn't detailed enough, but they looked as though it was open there, or they were archways or something, and that it wasn't actually closed off. But I did want it to be closed off, so I ended up putting windows in there instead. I may be able to add curtains or some sort of you know, structure or detailing around them to make them look less modern. But let me know whether you think that I should just take them out completely, or whether I should try and edit them. I was thinking about removing them and adding those new mirrors that we got from that glamour stuff pack, but I actually tried it and had a look, and I didn't think it looked that great. But it might be quite nice to put on the inside, you know, where those bits of wall are where there isn't window. I thought what would be quite cool is to layer all of those with mirrors. I thought that would be pretty cool. But yeah, we'll just see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'd really love some of your feedback. I really want to make this good. When I've done like big builds before, I've done both of them at the same time, and I've not been able to have the feedback which you guys have given me to, you know, edit and change it, and I'd really appreciate that, you know, this time. But this area here is, I'm guessing like it would be the servants' quarters, and I tried with these windows to make it look like there were several levels, and it was like ivy and stuff growing over it, and the flowers, and that they decorated it and that kind of thing, and I like the idea of that. I haven't built any dungeons actually, and I think the dungeons are probably quite important. I was reading up and just, you know, to remind myself, but apparently there are 4 levels of dungeons in this castle, and the bottom one is like unheard of, and no one really knows what goes on down there, but it's like there's like, I guess, horror stories about it, and I wouldn't be able to, I've already gone into some of the basement, I wouldn't be able to do several layers of basement like that, but I could put some dungeons in, so if they are something that you think are important, I can put them in. Also, like, whether this is going to be more of a residential or more of a community lot kind of build, it's also up to you guys, whatever you think might be best. So you'll see here, I put this in here. It doesn't look that great. I don't know. I wanted, because we didn't, when I was building this, we didn't have any full length doors which weren't modern. Like, we just didn't have any, so I didn't know. I had to put in this one, but it wasn't high enough, and then to try and make it grand still, it just all wasn't working. I think I did use the new one, and I just edited it a little bit, and I still put these roof pieces, these little overhangs. I think I used those, but I can't actually really remember. But yeah, I guess there's room for me still to do editing and stuff like that. I'd also wanted to keep in as much of me actually doing the build as I could. I did take some of it out because this video is ridiculously long. Well done if you've actually made it this far, because this is a ridiculously long video. So I think I cut out some of my landscaping, which is down in this bit here where this front entrance is. We actually have like a formal garden in there, and it's not my best garden or landscaping because it's in the basement. I have to put the green down, and I can't do any sort of flooring on it, which is a shame. I've seen in Hatsy's more recent videos that she's done these really cool things with hedges, and that would have been pretty cool down here. Sorry, I'm cuddled up in my duvet. You might have seen that. I'm cuddled up in my duvet because the heating is not working in my room, and it's got Velcro at the bottom to keep the duvet in place, and it keeps getting stuck to my t-shirt because I got it the wrong way around. So sorry if you're hearing Velcro, that's what it is. But yeah, I'm just putting some windows down in the bottom. This bit which is sticking out, I don't know how to explain where it is. There's like that little bit which tucks in, and then there's that room off to the side which has the land still attached to it, which I haven't taken away. I can't describe things. Not the bit which sticks out with the throne room, the other bit around the side which has that towel with the golden bit on the top. That bit. I thought at the bottom that could be like a chef's area where the kitchens and stuff. I thought that'd be a good area to have it. Because every like fantasy book I've read, they've always been like down in the basement. They haven't been, or you know, at the bottom of the building. They haven't been near the top. So it just made sense that it would be there. I don't know. But yeah, I wanted to, because the walls in the game, you can actually see like that grey, which you get on the top of it. And I don't like that. And it's really annoying because you get that sort of funny line. I don't know if you can see it, but you get that funny line between the floor and the basement level, even though there isn't, you know, any walls there. There's that white dotted line you might see, and it sort of moves around as you move the camera. I don't like it, but I can't get rid of that. But there are a few things like where I put wall trims on to get rid of that sort of like white edge which you get, or that grey edge you get on a lot of things. So yeah, I ended up actually using those wall pieces, so decorational things, and I haven't actually used them, like the roof ones, sorry. I haven't actually used them in that colourway before. I've only used them in like grey or silver or black before, but I haven't used them in that colour, and it's really beautiful because it's like goldy reddy bronze, but it's like shimmery at the same time, and it's kind of got like a holographic kind of effect to it. It's so beautiful, and I think it works really well for this build because it is like that reddy bronze colour. It's really pretty, but I haven't been able to use it before, so I'm glad that I was able to use it so much in this build, because I think I'm going to use it a lot more. I really like that colourway. I feel, you know, I feel like I've had something missing, that I haven't actually used it before, you know. Here we're doing the sort of pool area, sea in inverted commas. It would be the sea, but we can't actually connect it to the sea. So because I didn't want to, and I have done this before, and it was one of the reasons why my lot lagged out so much. But I have done it before where I've put rocks all the way around the outside, you know, the outdoor retreat ones, which are like the stools and tables and stuff like that, and I've put them all around the outside, and it's too much. It lags out the game, and so I can put it in. If you guys think that it looks really bad as it is, I can put it in, but what I've done is I've just done stone instead, and I've made it, when I do natural looking things, and I do this with natural pools as well, I don't actually do them at very steep angles. I always do them at diagonals, and I never do them above, like, pointy enough above a certain angle, and I never do 90 degrees, and I think it kind of makes it look quite natural, even though I haven't done rocks or whatever. It kind of looks like a natural cliff face almost, but I do end up putting some rocks in around the side off camera, and I wasn't sure about that either, so yeah, we'll just see. I did put in a lot of rocks there, and I was thinking, if I have to put this everywhere, it's going to be a complete and utter nightmare. There's no way that this lot is going to work, because it's such a big area to put rocks around. I guess I just needed to make the castle bigger, but if I made it any bigger, it wouldn't look as tall, you know? But yeah, so I'm trying to do the path here, and I didn't really think things through. I was being an idiot again. And I thought, I know, I'll draw this path of where I need to put my, of the actual path, and put like a fence around it. And then what I can do is just do like, is it shift or alt to, I can't remember, to fill like an area, and it's like, yeah, I'll just do that and it will save me loads of time. And then it didn't work because it didn't make a room, and I wasted all that time where I had to do what I didn't want to do anyway in the first place. So yeah, that's what I did here, yay. But yeah, so that's yeah, it's not the best there, but I edit this pathway anyway, and I really wanted to make it like a really sort of winding path, and I couldn't do that because it had to be all on diagonals or right angles, you know. And if you see this green, it just looks terrible. It doesn't look good, I don't know, without all the stuff on it. But I think I do an alright job. I do an okay job. It's not the best job that I've ever done with landscaping and stuff. There's some areas where it is more formal. It's not like crazy formal. And then there's some stuff where it's in my sort of normal style, where it's sort of colours and flowers and plants everywhere. I tend to do colour explosions with some of my builds. I'd also meant to talk about like at the beginning of this video so that people would actually hear it, but I do want to make more Game of Thrones, because I don't know whether hardly any of you have made it this far, but like I said, it's a very long video, but yeah, I do want to make more of Game of Thrones builds. I've wanted for a while to make the Dragonstone castle, because I wanted to use the the wooden sculpture which you get of the dragon, and I thought that would be a really cool thing to have in as a lot. But I was going to give it a go, see what it was like, but I'm not guaranteeing that it's actually going to work because it's just an idea, but I have no idea whether it will actually work or not. I've also made a Lord of the Rings build. I didn't put it as Lord of the Rings, I didn't say it was Lord of the Rings. I think I said this in my last video, like I said it in that phrase as well, but I talked about that build last time, but it was I still don't know how to say it. Lothlorien, something like that. Lothoren, Laurie, I don't know. The one in the trees. I should have looked this up before. I had plenty of time to look this up before I did this voiceover. Oh well. So anyway, I've done that one from Lord of the Rings, and I really wanted to do Rivendell. Because I was watching Hobbit the other day, and I was just thinking I need to build this, and I don't know whether it's going to be any good because of all the waterfalls and stuff. It's going to be really difficult. I mean, I have done builds with lots of waterfalls before, so, or a few anyway, but this is going to be like on steroids in comparison, so I'll give it a go. I can't guarantee anything, but I'll give it a go, and I do want to build more Game of Thrones builds, so maybe I could do it again with Hatsy if she wanted to. It's only if she, you know, had the time to, because these are big builds, and she has so many builds that she gets out, and you know, for a Callywell Estate thing, she's got so much going on, so it's okay if she doesn't want to do another one. But it would be cool to do more Game of Thrones castles, so definitely if there are any which you want me to do, let me know in the comments below. Maybe I'll do a comment as well and like pin it or something so that you guys can reply and let me know which of the castles you want me to do next. I think that might be a good plan. But yeah, I do cut out quite a big chunk of this landscaping stuff. I remember, yeah, I was just about to talk about the story which I'd actually spoken about in the last one, but I'm not sure because it was about someone at work, and I don't know whether they'll probably never see this, and there's no way of knowing who they are, so I don't know. But I feel bad talking about someone at work or telling stories about them because, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'll say it anyway, because we've got some of the, I think, how long have we got left? Not a ton. But, oh no, we've still got a little bit. But this guy, he basically, at work, we have to, it's not very fun, but we have to put away some of, like, we get delivered in items, like most shops, and then we have to put them on the shelves. And pretty much every retail shop has that, and that's what you do. And so it's really not a big deal. And, I remember this guy, he, for whatever reason, didn't want to do that. So then when my manager went and very nicely asked him whether he could do the delivery, we have like this wall that divides two of the different checkout tills areas, and obviously it's open at our end but it's not fully open at their end, and he punched that wall and it was still reinforced, you could tell, and he's left a dent in it. And it was all on, because we have those cameras which go above from the till and look down on everyone, you know, to make sure that people aren't sticking their hands in the till and stealing stuff, and everyone's like counting money correctly and stuff like that. But yeah, so it's above, and you could see all of it, and he collapsed to the floor holding his hand and his arm and like writhing around on the floor in pain. It was like, why did you do that? I'll never understand how someone could get so angry that they would punch something, because it only hurts you, it doesn't hurt anything else. I don't understand. But also, like, maybe if someone had killed your only child, then yeah, that would be, you know, a reasonable explanation for punching a wall. But for someone asking you nicely to do your job, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't really have anything against him, and I never really did before. And he is a lovely person. He obviously just has a few anger issues, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not holding any grudges, but I personally don't see how you could get that angry. over anything, really. I'm not an angry person. But what was really funny was we had our Christmas do, and we had a Secret Santa, and so what someone bought him was a stress ball. And it was really stupid as well, because it was caught on camera, everyone was just playing it and laughing at him and watching it. It was just so stupid. I don't know. But anyway, I'll go back to the build for a second. So you've seen some of the landscaping, not all of it. There's like bits and pieces everywhere that I've actually shown you, but I think you'll probably see most of it towards the end when I sort of zoom out. But I'll do in my second part, I'll do screenshots and stuff like that anyway. But we've got this like secret maybe in inverted commas well over in this corner. So those of you who made it this far into the video, congratulations. Your prize is you find out about the secret well that probably everyone will see when they download the slot anyway. Yay! Yay! Yippee and hooray! Together. But yeah, so that's what that is around the corner. I thought that was pretty fun, and I also put in the secret passage from over there, which goes around and actually goes to the water. So if you do end up using this lot with all the pool in there, because your computer can run it, then you can actually use that pool and they can swim around in what would be the sea and stuff like that. But if you don't want to use the sea, then do what I do here, where I just colour it in with a floor tile. But anyway, we've actually got to the end of this video, so thank you very much for watching, and hopefully see you again soon. Also, make sure you go and check out Hatsy's video. Ooh, make sure you go and do it. It's going to be amazing. And check out our channel if you haven't already. You're nutters. You need to just go there. Alright, see you guys.